Today we're going to be taking a look at Klawf, the Stony Cliff Titan Pokemon. Now this thing looks pretty unremarkable when you look at its base stats. It's actually pretty similar to Kingler, one of the other crab Pokemon. Good attack and defense, average speed, everything else kind of mediocre. But Klawf actually does have one great asset, which is its unique ability, Anger Shell. Anger Shell is an ability that basically increases your attack, special attack and speed by one stage, and lowers your defenses by one stage once you get hit by an attack and get dropped below half health. Now unfortunately it is important that you actually get hit by an attack as opposed to just using substitute and lowering your own HP. But there are ways around that. So you'll see on one of these sets I'm running Endure, which is a great move to actually guarantee that you live a hit. You also have Terra typing of course to change your type and therefore take less damage from a potential super effective hit. So there's a couple of ways of doing it, but I'm going to run over some movesets here. If you guys enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more. And let me know what other movesets you guys would want to see. I mainly want to focus on the Pokemon that aren't that popular. The ones that you're not going to see in most competitive teams. You know, the underdogs. Klawf is not a very popular Pokemon, I can tell you that now. But I am going to show you good ways to use it. So let me know other ones you guys would like to see and I'll see what I can do. The top rated comment on this video will be my next moveset guide. So get voting. First set we're going to use is a nice Focus Sash lead. This thing is actually quite well suited to a lead. Possibly not as good as something like Lycanroc, which gets, you know, a Cellarrock, it has better base speed, has a nice fast taunt. This thing can actually do it quite well. So you have Focus Sash there, which basically means that even if you get hit by, let's say a powerful Earthquake or a Surf or whatever, you're still going to live on 1 HP. You'll get your Anger Shell boost, which gives you the attack and speed boost. You have Stealth Rock, which of course is quite useful for leads. Rock Blast, I choose that over Stone Edge because Rock Blast can be used to break Focus Sash on stuff like Masquerain, for example. Knockoff is just a very good general purpose move, especially for stuff like Brambleghast in current UU. Endeavour I think is a good choice here just because if you're getting knocked down to 1 HP, especially by a special move, because you have bad special defense, it's quite useful just to knock something down to 1 HP. Let's say they bring in a big defensive Pokemon to take your hit after they activate the Anger Shell. Endeavour will bring them down to 1, and then you can finish them off with Knockoff. So a very nice combination in my opinion. You also have the Terra-type Ghost, just to avoid Rapid Spin. That's quite common on lead Pokemon, just to Terra into Ghost-type, for that reason alone. Not a bad set. Not my favourite, but I think it could do well. Now interestingly, Klawf does get a good ability in Anger Shell, but it also gets another good ability in Regenerator. So even though it's kind of a mediocre Pokemon in terms of its base stats, you can actually do some good work because of these abilities. Now, I don't think Regenerator is better than the Anger Shell ability on this thing, because Regenerator is generally better for defensive Pokemon like Amoonguss. But it can work. We're running a choice band set here just to make use of its pretty good base physical attack stat. You've got Stone Edge for stab, high horsepower. I don't think it gets Earthquake, so horsepower is the next best thing. Terra Blast, Grass type. Grass and Rock is very good coverage, so Grass lets you hit ground types and water types. And then Knockoff just as your final move there, just for good neutral coverage on stuff. So I guess the idea with this one is that, let's say you have to take some kind of physical hit. I don't know, a defensive Earthquake or maybe a neutral move like a Stone Edge or something. You can take the hit them back again, do some massive damage, and then switch out and just regenerate your health back. Again, not as good as Anger Shell, but I think that's the best way to use the Choice Banded set. Next set we're going to be running, now this is one of the setup movesets. Again, not my favourite one, we're saving that for last, but I think this one is also fairly good. Klawf does get access to Swords Dance, which is quite nice. So, you can get up a Swords Dance, boost your attack to pretty high levels. You've got high horsepower and Stone Edge, fairly standard offensive moves for this thing. And then Trailblaze. So for those who haven't seen it, Trailblaze is a grass type flame charge essentially. So if they decide to bring in some kind of water type or ground type for example, let's say a Quagsire, that's a pretty good example. You can go for the Trailblaze, get your speed boost, and also knock it out at the same time. So that actually puts it in a very good position. We still got Anger Shell because it's not the kind of Pokemon that is going to be switching in and out anyway, so Regenerator isn't really a factor. I figure Anger Shell might get you some surprise boosts. Terra type is ground just to effectively get yourself into Anger Shell and not die instantly to, let's say, a fighting move or a ground move. That can put you into sort of the halfway range, so activate your ability and get those extra boosts, and then you still have the stab on high horsepower, so yeah, I think it's a good set. The final set we're going to show you though is my personal favourite, and I'm actually going to upload a session with this one very soon. So this is the Endure Weakness Policy set, the Pyrotos Special. This is what a lot of you guys know me for on Driftblim, or Hitmonlee, stuff like this. I love Endure, it's a great move. So Endure will guarantee that you will live any hit. Doesn't matter if it's super effective, super boosted, whatever, doesn't matter, you will always live on 1 HP. That will obviously activate your Anger Shell, and if they go for a super effective move, and Rock does have a lot of weaknesses, common weaknesses like fighting, ground, water, grass, you will activate your weakness policy. And that gives you +3 attack, +3 special attack, and +1 speed, so you're in a good position to sweep. We got Jolly Nature, as you can see, on the speed, because otherwise you don't really hit that higher speed tier. But it's the same again, Stone Edge, high horsepower, and on this one we got the Terra Blast grass type. That can definitely help wipe out the bulky waters and grounds. And once again, you can use that Terra typing defensively. So for example, if you don't want to endure on a particular turn, or I don't know, you're taking chip damage, like a poison or something, so you can't endure, at least you can use the Terra type to live a hit, get into your Anger Shell, and just try and sweep from there. But that's it, that's my guide to Klawf. I hope you guys find this guide useful, and I hope you guys will give Klawf a try on the ladder. I've certainly enjoyed using it, and you guys can see a session from me very soon using this thing. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all soon.